What's going on, guys? Dolly back in the house. Today we're doing another video on little Summer Wells and her family. But first, of course, if you're brand new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and ring that bell for notifications. And share my ugly face on any social media platform you choose. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the boys. You remember the three boys, Summer's three little brothers that were in the house the day Summer was taken? Well, here's the most up-to-date information we have on that. So it appears that the boys were taken from the Wells family about a month after Summer Wells went missing, roughly around July 26th. Now, there was no real reason that social services gave for taking the boys, but Don took it upon himself to act as a spokesperson, and he said himself that his house was unsafe because of people driving by there, YouTubers, different things of that nature, and that is the reason they took the boys. But we only know this because that is what Don Wells is telling us. So, shortly after the boys were taken, Don Wells is cut off of all communications with the boys because allegedly he tried to take one of the boys to the side and talk about things with the boy that social services asked him not to talk to the boy about alone. And Don Wells was trying to have a little sneaky conversation with his son, so they cut off all communications with Don Wells. So at this point, Don can't talk to the boys, but Candace still can. Now, instead of Candace getting her stuff together, Candace calls up the boys, and it appears that she is intoxicated. Now, we've heard Candace come out and say she was going through medical conditions. She may have had a stroke, but the truth be is they called that family, and the family that has the boys had no problems with the communications until they started breaking the rules. Now, this is all alleged, but it appears that Candace had called the boys, and one of the boys told Candace that he no longer wanted to come home. Now, you got to look at this point. They've been in custody of CPS in a foster home for the last 2 years. So at this point, these boys have probably got situated, made friends, got used to the life they're living, and they're probably happy with it. They have lived a totally dysfunctional life, I believe, and at this point, they're living a normal life, and why would you want to return back to the craziness? After the boys were taken, when it was going through court, the judge put a gag order on the case. And now, just recently, some of you may know Robin Lane. Some people call her the church lady. She has recently tried to gain custody of the boys. And at this point, we don't really know the outcome of that. We don't know if it was continued or what, but we do know that at some point she was trying to gain custody of the boys. And I believe if she gains custody of the boys, that's just putting the boys right back in the hands of Don and Candace. And yesterday, there was a video posted to the official Summer Wells YouTube page from Robin to the boys. Also, she hashtagged all their names in the video, made the video kid-friendly, and then started, showing cards that people had wrote for the kids, doing blessings over the cards, and sharing pictures and things of that nature. So she is trying to gain custody. She is trying to get in contact with the kids through what I see as some shady means coming from the church lady, Robin. And this is just an attempt to get these boys back so Don and Candace Wells can have access to them. That's what I truly believe. I do not believe that Robin's in it to make sure these boys have a healthy, safe life. She is trying to just help out a friend or somebody that has gotten over on them, and she believes Don and Candace, and she's trying to help as a good person. But as I believe, she's doing the wrong thing. The best thing I think is she could stay out of this and let these boys have a normal life. And if the Wells were still going through court and still trying to get custody at this point, wouldn't they still be under this gag order? Why are these people trying to reach out to the kids through third parties when they know they ain't supposed to have any contact with the kids? Now here's the question. In court, has Don and Candace Wells lost complete custody of these boys? That's the $1 million question. And at this point, is that why Robin has stepped up trying to get them back? Now, are these people trying to be parents all of a sudden? Or are they trying to control what these boys say to the public? Now, you got to remember, the reason why Don can't talk to his boys is because he tried to pull him aside and have a private conversation with him after they told him not to. Was that private conversation, was that about Summer and his sister and what he said and didn't say? That's the problem here. Was Don trying to coach his son? Now, if they did love and care about these kids and knowing that they cannot provide for their children, they would let these kids have a happy life and live somewhere where they could live a normal life and have a chance in life. Now, you guys tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you think it's a good thing if Robin gets these boys? Do you think that's just a way for her to give access to Don and Candace back to these boys? And it's the whole thing that's going on with Don and Candace right now, just a big act. You guys let me know in the comment box down below. And if you watched this far, I'd like to thank you. Make sure if you're new, you sub up, like us, share us. And I'm Dolly. I will see you guys next time. Peace.